Time to Shine Today podcast varsity squad. And I got my boy Ret Taylor here from NED, and we're going to dig into that. And for NED, helping people feel better and live better has meant creating simple and effective natural remedies that serve as a holistic first line of defense against common ailments. Turns out it takes a lot of steps to keep things purely simple, and products are a reflection of the care and commitment required to live up to their mission. You know, again, it's all about simplicity, science, and soul. And Ret here is a co-founder of NED, and it is a leading health and wellness company based in Boulder, Colorado. They are committed to helping as many people as possible find a deeper connection to the natural world. And Ret, please come on, introduce yourself to the Time to Shine Today podcast varsity squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
Green for sure.
Yeah, why is that?
You know, kind of ties in with that connection to nature.
And you got it behind you too in that plant, bro. Yeah, it's all about
that's right.
It's all about the green. So let's dig in a little bit here, man. Let's go from maybe the origins and how you ramped it up and gotten that off the ground.
Yeah, sure. Well, real quick, my mom had breast cancer. She was able to skip chemo and radiation and really focus in on battling cancer through nutrition, which really scared the hell out of me. So I went out and learned everything I could about doing so. And one of the things I came across was CBD, cannabinoids, and really leaned into those, and then just found a massive hole in the industry for quality products and transparency, and really the kind of company that I was looking to provide to my mom. There just wasn't the quality out there. So very long story short, ended another business, sold that, and really began to focus on NED, which really became the passion.
And you did that with, I believe it's Adrian also, is your partner there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Adrian's my business partner, and he and I go way back, all the way to college. And,
okay.
When I found our farmer, and when I realized that, really the way of going about creating a better company and a better product, I knew I would need to tell that story. Otherwise it would just sit next to these other products that weren't doing it right. And so I reached out to Adrian, who's the absolute best storyteller I know. He's had an amazing career in digital media and marketing, and just a real brand guy. And so asked him to join, and it was just the right time. He had just gotten off a 2.5 year journey around the world, really trying to find himself after a massive burnout in front of his entire company.
Oh, wow.
And, he was in all the ashrams and mountaintops and all the places you go to find yourself. And he landed back in Colorado, and it was just divine timing.
Yeah, I did that too. I went through that burnout bad, and I went to Peru and did that whole ayahuasca thing. Oh, that's another story. It's a whole podcast in itself, man. But let's talk about the simplicity and the natural and the barriers that you have to go through to get to basically getting to market a really pure form of CBD and hemp.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of CBD on the market.
Yeah,
CBD absolutely. Is just one of many cannabinoids that are found in the hemp plant, and it's mostly prevalent in hemp and less so in the marijuana plant, which is why we use hemp plants. But there are over 200 other cannabinoids. But a lot of people just will isolate out that CBD and sell it. And, they really have a lot of companies have really, very little understanding for where that comes from, or, where it's grown. And so you're really not getting a great product, or a product that can be traced from seed to bottle, which is, for me and the team here, that's really the most fun part. We love that connection we have with our farm up in Paonia, Colorado.
Sure.
We're up there as much as possible. And so we try to do everything as naturally as possible, because there's so much more to learn about natural remedies and
absolutely
and hemp as well. And until we, or if we ever really learn a lot more, we just try to do it the way Mother Nature intended.
Love that.
That's just as smart as you can get.
Right.
We overthink things so often these days in our society, and we build things in laboratories that are just better built in nature. And,
absolutely.
and that's really our ethos.
So riddle me this, man, because it was funny when our production meeting yesterday, we were talking like difference between about interviewing you, right? And I wanted to ask you this: what is the difference between hemp oil and CBD oil? Like, I think you said something a couple of seconds ago, but like, can you tell the listeners what the difference is and what it really
Yeah.
relates to?
Yeah, it all comes down to nomenclature, but there's hemp seed oil, which you can buy in a grocery market,
Okay.
and then there's full spectrum hemp oil, which is what we do. And full spectrum hemp oil would mean that it's really been extracted from the flowers of a hemp plant, and it'll have all of those cannabinoids. That's CBD, which is kind of the famous one. Kind of think of it as like the lead singer in a rock band, right? You got dates all the models and is on the billboard, and
that's the CBD.
But that's the CBD. But without the CBN and the CBG and the CBDA and on, you don't have the full effect, right?
Right.
So it would, that's the drummer and the bassist and the lighting guy and the sound guy. And without everybody on the team, you don't have the full effect. CBD gets a lot of the credit because it's really kind of the bus driver that drives it into your body,
sure,
and then allows the other cannabinoids to do their work. One of our best-selling products is our sleep blend.
Yes.
And that is, we have elevated levels of CBN. CBN is the sedative cannabinoid. And that's just a massive success for us and for our customers. It's something I've wanted to tackle for a long time.
I gotta get this. Yeah, that's amazing. So you would think that isolating the CBD would be more expensive, but is it more expensive just to get the full hemp oil with a plethora of cannabinoids? If I even said that right, is it more? Why is that? Is it the process different or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's we use a cold ethanol or organic ethanol extraction method, and it's just more time consuming. And it's, isolating out a cannabinoid, and you can isolate out any cannabinoid.
Sure.
Most people isolate out CBD, but
right.
But that's typically done with really harsh chemicals at very high temperature and lots of pressure. And we really believe in treating the plant with respect at the end of its life.
Absolutely.
That's I'm a bit of a hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do a little hunting, and there's a difference between wounding an animal and a clean shot, and it's really about respecting the plant at the end of its life, and it'll give you its medicine either way, but the efficacy of that medicine is going to be better when you respect it. And we don't hit it with high heat or high pressure. It's really gentle, pure, clean extraction process that again doesn't beat up the plant.
That's awesome, Ret. Thank you for explaining it in terms that I actually understand. So let's get some benefits of NED. Let's go with the sleep blend here. I see it: sleep longer, wake up refresh, keep the CBN in there as well. That's the CBN that actually promotes the downtime, right? Is that,
yeah?
I see that right? Okay.
Yeah, and I'm a lot of my friends think it's funny that I'm in the cannabis industry because I'm the only one of my friends that never really got into pot. And
cool.
But I don't know about your listeners, but if anybody's ever smoked old pot, THC turns into CBN, and CBN again is that sedative cannabinoid. So old pot typically will make somebody feel very sleepy. And so anyways, we have elevated levels of CBN in our sleep blend. And, sleep we asked our customers, what's the number one thing you're coming to us for?
All day.
Yeah. Sleep was the big thing, especially, back during COVID times. Not that we're entirely through the woods yet, but, so we said, let's focus in on sleep. We added, strains with higher levels of CBN. We added natural botanicals like valerian and skullcap and chamomile, And, for me, it's one of my big missions is finding alternatives to pharmaceuticals.
I love that,
too
man.
many people.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The stuff that goes through
we all
your
know.
freaking liver just to get metabolized to help you sleep. My squad listens to me and I tell them, I'll do I make my edibles myself. I have an awesome THC extractor. And then I have the stuff here, lemon balm, which I absolutely love. It's acts kind of like the CBN in a sense because it shuts me down. And then L-theanine, which is extracted from green tea, that helps kind of with anxiety and stuff. Just because I dealt with PTSD from Desert Storm, Operation Southern Watch, and stuff like that. And it's just what you just said about it staying natural is what it was, because I was one of those babies that was kind of like, hey, the mental hygiene guys, like, here's some Xanax. And weaning off that was the worst thing I could ever have, that I've went through. It's worse than anything that happened in Fallujah, Ramadia, and things I saw. It was harder, than what's natural now. And so I have a protocol at night that includes ashwagandha. I'm using a CBD oil, not that one anymore because it's just straight CBD, lemon balm, and the theanine. So this is awesome. Ret, this is absolutely awesome. So where did NED come from?
Yeah, you mean the name?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, when we started the business, Adrian and I, we took a look at everybody around us, and everybody was either, super serious or scientific or kind of just really hippy dippy.
Chill. And, love it.
Yeah. I remember the conversation with my mom when I brought CBD home. I was like, Mom, this is from Hemp. And she's like, I've never smoked marijuana in my life. I'm not going to start now. And are the police going to show up? And I was just thinking, this conversation is going to be happening millions of times all over the world,
all the time.
And so just wanted to have a really, really approachable name.
Okay.
And then, if you look at our packaging, it looks much more like a bath product or a beauty product.
Yeah, it's nice and brown.
It doesn't have hemp leaves all over it. So NED was the name of a farmer that we knew and respect. And
wow,
NED is kind of he's a Renaissance man. He's the kind of guy you can go to when you have a question about anything from natural remedies to ancient Greece to fixing your sink to changing your tire.
That's awesome.
He's your guy.
Farmer NED.
And again, just approachability is super key for us.
Love it. So when people are gonna maybe come to you they want to go on this protocol, which I strongly recommend peeps, especially this NED sleep. I cannot wait to try it. Is there any good question that they should be asking before they start the protocol?
Yeah, and whether this is for us or for any other high quality natural remedies company, should really just be asking, where the ingredients are coming from, how they're being extracted or harvested. That's another thing. We only source from one farm, and it's a small farm. It's a 10-acre farm. And we would never want to have a bigger farm because after 10 acres, you start getting into big machinery and kind of big ag and monocropping. And so our farm is regenerative, it's organic, it's biodynamic, it's as good as it gets. So really looking into the sourcing, for me personally, I just need to know people, I need to understand what the motivations are. And that's why there's so much on our website about that transparency element.
Yeah, that's awesome that you're transparent, man.
We're really, we're storytellers first and foremost. We really want to transport you to our farm. I want you to feel the sun on the back of your neck and smell the hay and kind of hear the crickets. And I want you to be there when you're using our product. And that's why we have the GPS coordinates of our farm on our products. We have the topo map on there.
Right.
And, but yeah, I mean, getting back to your question, I think it also comes down to intuition, right?
Right.
So, so much of our thinking these days, we use, our prefrontal cortex, the front of our brain to rationalize and put language to everything. But, again, I think that we've really gotten away from using our ancient brain, our monkey minds to make decisions. And that's what's called a gut decision, when you just can't put it into words.
Right.
But you just know. And,
right.
and I think putting more value on that. So really, coming to our site, going to other companies or natural grocers, just do that gut check.
Love it. Love it. So how old is NED, the company?
We're coming up on 4 years, which
Wow.
Isn't very long, but in this industry, we're one of the OGs.
And so you're a grandpa in the industry, bro. I mean, I didn't even hear about CBD oil till 2019, which is 2 years ago, really. I mean, I heard about it, but access to it was kind of sparse, compared to what you're seeing now. So have you saw the movie Back to the Future, Rhett?
Of course.
All right, let's get in that DeLorean with Marty McFly. Let's go back to, say, the 22-year-old Rhett. What kind of knowledge nuggets are you dropping on him to maybe help him level up, push through, maybe shorten the learning curve a little bit?
Yeah, 22-year-old Rhett was all about two things. One was adventure, and the next one was money, and it was in that order. And I lived in Saudi Arabia. I lived in Brazil. I traveled all over the world, and then I really got more that switched. It was turned into the money side. I grew up with very little of it, and just thought that it was the answer.
Right.
And so I would have told myself to continue to focus on the adventure, the passion, the interests.
Wow.
So I went on to start another business, which did very well and took me to the top of my field, but it was not a passion. And I honestly feel like that was not time well spent. It
Gotcha.
took me until I was 36,
Wow.
which was 5 years ago, to really reconnect with my purpose and be able to articulate it and define it. And that is what led to NED.
Love it. Dude, you don't look like you could be, 40, 41?
42, actually.
42?
Yeah.
You don't look at it all, brother. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'm
natural remedies,
50.
Baby.
I'm coming up on 50, and I started all natural 6 years ago, and it's changed everything. Yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah, age is nothing. It's nothing, how hard our bodies have to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we're putting bad things in our bodies are working overtime. We might be 20, but our body could be 40. So.
Exactly. And my jiu-jitsu matches everything is just been better since everything's just been natural. Everything. So how do you want your dash remembered then, Rhett? That little line in between your incarnation date and your expiration date, your life date and death date. How do you want Rets Dash remembered?
Yeah, I know exactly what I want. It's helped a ton of people find a deeper connection with nature. And I really believe that when we're deeply connected with nature and the natural world and natural processes, it's like fighting downhill. It's like, it just becomes easier because when we're in alignment with nature, it just becomes easier to thrive.
Absolutely.
We can thrive for a little while if we're disconnected, if we're, every day looking at screens and every day eating garbage, and you can thrive for a little while, but it's fighting uphill. It's it's trying to go upstream, and it's just easier. And then honestly, I hope personally that that deeper connection leads to people making different decisions about how they impact the environment.
Wow, that's excellent, man. You're doing so much good stuff. You're transparent as hell too, man. Let's get back in that DeLorean, but this time with Doc Brown. Where they're going, you don't need roads, right? Where do you see NED 5 years from now?
Yeah, we've always wanted NED to be that different, better first line of defense. So instead of turning to your doctor and getting prescribed Xanax or Ambien or the plethora. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a place for both of those pharmaceuticals and many others as well.
Right.
But it's really at the other end of the bell curve, and it's not for 80% of us. It's really should be a last option. And so we want to be that alternative. We want to be a pharmacy where people think first that, hey, let me go get this ashwagandha and CBD and and valerian instead of Ambien,
Right. Yes.
So that's where we hope
you would
Ned goes.
love my protocol at night, dude. I'm telling you right now.
It sounds like it,
dude. Before I go to bed, this is the weirdest thing. My girl's like, "What are you doing? What's that smell?" My cat goes nuts. I take valerian oil, right, and I put it on my temples, underneath my nose, and then bottom of my feet, and then I have a dropper that I put a little bit on my tongue too. And I tell you what, the whole protocol natural, bro, knocks me out. It is. So let me ask you something. Then also, if you're not taking, what would keep you up at night then? If you're not taking the NED sleep blend, what keeps Ret up at night?
Yeah, well, honestly, just making sure this company gets where it needs to be.
Going, yeah. So what do you think people misunderstand about Ret the most?
About me personally?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I'm going to start asking people, but I think
time to shine today, baby.
I think and this might come off the wrong way, but I really do care about people, and I really do want the best for people, and it's, I've been told that's kind of rare, and like, what's the catch? And so I think maybe misunderstanding that desire, that altruism.
Man, you're transparent as all hell, man. That's awesome, brother. So let's take out anything computer. Let's take out anything electronical. What are 3 things Ret can't live without?
Sure. Yeah, my Oak Journal, which was developed by a good friend of mine, Keith Roberts. It's Oak Journal, and it's it's where I structure my life, and it's where I write down what I'm grateful for, everything from that to what I got to do each day.
Is it Oak, O-A-K? O-A-K?
Yeah.
Okay.
OAKjournal.com, I believe.
Okay.
And so I love that. My dog, Bella.
My man, what kind of dog?
And, she's a half Aussie. She's a bit of poodle. She's a bit a lot of things.
A little mutter, huh? I love it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the last
She's
thing?
a great one. Well, of course, my family.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So then what is Ret's definition of a life well lived?
Yeah. Man, it's honestly, it's what I'm doing right now.
Dude, you're living it, dude.
I spent way too long not doing it. Really, spent way too long not doing it.
Yeah.
But a life well lived. Recently, one of my very good friends and somebody who inspires me tremendously, Teddy Van Buren, passed away.
I saw your post, man. You guys are supposed to go to Iceland and all that jazz, and it just happened, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sucks,
and he was helping a buddy move, and anyways, he was a doer. He was somebody who was always doing and just always inspired and inspired others. And so I'd like to continue that and try to do half as much as what Teddy did.
So was he a triathlon guy, or was he a marathon runner?
He was a poet warrior. He was just a brilliant guy and friends with everyone. He was on the board of 4 different nonprofits, and
wow,
just did a ton. He was an outdoorsman, and he would quote you Byron while we were fly fishing or archery hunting.
Awesome,
so
the good ones get taken, man. It just sucks, bro. It really does.
Yeah.
And squad, we're going to take my good friend Ret here through our leveling up lightning round just as soon as we get back from thanking our sponsors and affiliates. Time to shine today, Podcast Varsity Squad. We're back with my really good friend, co-founder of NED, and also he's just a rock star. And Ret, we're going to take you through our leveling up lightning round. You and I could talk literally an hour on each one of these questions, but you got 5 seconds with no explanations. You ready to rock?
Let's do this.
All right, my man. Let's level up. What is the best leveling up advice Ret's ever received?
Surround yourself with great people.
Yeah. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
exercise every morning.
Love it. So other than your website, which helloned.com or timetoshinetoday.com, my shameless plug, what other website does Ret go to level up?
Maybe Wim Hof's website.
Oh yeah, breathing.
Learn more about
every
plunge.
single morning, bro. I do this breathing every morning. I'm up to 2.5 minutes on the out breath. It's getting there, man.
Nice.
So you're seeing me walking down the street or whatnot, and you're like, man, Fergie looks like he's in his doldrums. Like, what book are you handing me?
What's it called? Jamie Wheel, Starting Fire.
Okay. Never heard of it. Put that in the show notes, Donnie. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So what's your most commonly used emoji when you text?
Definitely the hands together. Thank you.
The
Gratitude
prayer.
one.
Awesome. Chess or checkers?
Checkers, man.
Love it. Okay. Don't lie to me on this one because I know your age. But if you could stay one age physically for the rest of your life, keep the knowledge you've garnered and continue to gain wisdom, what age physically would you stay for the rest of your life, Ret?
23.
Me too. I'm 20 or maybe early 30s. I'd jam. All right. So what's your favorite charity and organization you like to give your time or money to?
Yeah, Outward Bound. I'm on the board, and I was given a scholarship, and now I'm giving them back.
Love it. Best decade of music, 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
Oh, maybe 80s.
I'm an 80s guy, man. Big hair, don't care. I was born in 72, so it's like I get like 80s is my jam, dude. So that's awesome. So how can we find you, brother?
Yeah, helloned.com.
I'm sorry, I said hell on net. Sorry about that. I just read
hey,
Hello
you're not
Ned.
the first
My
one.
bad. Sorry. Hello Ned.
Hello Ned.
Okay.
At Ned on Instagram, at NED. And then my personally is at I'm Ready. IMRETTY.
Love it. Love it. And squad, we're going to give away a free Sleep Blend 30 milliliter to the first one that will respond to anything on our social, from Pinterest, LinkedIn, wherever you see this. If you respond back with NED Rocks, NEDROCKS, I will personally send you out a Sleep Blend 30 milliliter, 1 ounce. And I can't wait to try it myself. This is going to be fantastic. So, Ret, do me one favor, please, and leave us with one last knowledge nugget you want us to take with us, internalize, and take action on.
Yeah, find that deep connection with the natural world, whatever it is, whether it's just looking up between buildings at the sky or getting out on an 18-day raft trip down the Grand Canyon. It's just going to do wonders for you.
Love it. And squad, I don't want to call it a masterclass, but it kind of is. It's so informative, yet it's going to tell you how to level up your life. You know, Ret's mom battled cancer, and she decided to skip the chemo and do it through nutrition. That really helped Ret open up his eyes to what's really out there, and he found that hole in the industry for quality products. You know, I'll let you go to the website, Hello Ned, but really it's full spectrum or extracted from the hemp plant. He's very, very careful with how he treats the plant because the plant's dying, people. You know, we got to care about stuff in this world, and they do it from a way that is, I'm going to say painless, more painless to the plant, but you're going to get the full aspects of the goodness from it. And if you're you want to go the CBD route, you know, find out where the ingredients are sourced and how they're harvested. And if you really want answers to that, go to helloned.com, and they have a plethora of information on there. You know, Ned is very transparent. You know, he wants you to focus on adventure, passion, and interests, you know, and he wants to be remembered as somebody that helped people find a deeper connection to nature. And within that, go out there and get what she mentioned, looking up in between skyscrapers, find the beauty and everything. And I tell you guys that every single day that are on my email list is always level up and find something that you're grateful for. Wake up every day. Get the Oak Journal, which I'm going to throw into the podcast notes as well. And Ned, Ret, thank you so much for coming on, man. You level up your health. You level up your wealth. You're transparent. You earned your varsity letter. You're fantastic. Can't wait to collaborate with your company in the future, brother.
Well, likewise. Really appreciate it, man. It's, really appreciate you. Thank you again.
You bet. Chat soon.